Today we're going to be drawing this tree from the reference picture that is linked in the description below. To do this project, you will need a pencil sharpener. It doesn't matter what kind you have, just any kind of pencil sharpener. Hopefully one that doesn't sprinkle stuff all over your paper though. A pencil and an eraser. Let's begin. We're going to talk about the different parts of a tree first. To begin with, we have the roots, the trunk, or the big stem of the plant. The bole of the tree is the trunk before it branches. We have the branches, and we have the canopy where the leaves are. Canopy doesn't have very many leaves because this is a spring tree. In America, right now, we don't have a lot of leaves on our trees where I live. They are just baby leaves. So they are light and sparse or few. All right. The first thing we're going to do as we work on this is draw a horizontal line, kind of low on your paper. So here's my line. And then we're going to make 2 dots on that line that will be the base of the tree trunk. So here's one, here's the other. We're going to start by drawing this branch that goes off to the right. As it leaves the ground, it gets further away from the trunk, the main trunk of the tree, and it bends and it branches off. So we have a small branch and a bigger branch. As the branch gets further away from the main trunk of the tree, it will taper or get smaller. So this is our first branch. We're going to do our next branch. Which goes off in this direction also. This part right here, there is a branch that branches towards us and then one that goes away from us. So you could put a line here to show that this is the one that comes toward us and this is going away or receding. Okay, we have another branch. We have a little bit of not a gap, not like a hole in the tree, but a space between this branch and this branch. So we're gonna make that, and then we're gonna curve it this way and go up. There's a small branch that goes this way and one that goes this way. Remember to taper them, so if you're starting at the top, it's gonna be narrower here and get thicker as you come back down the tree trunk. Whoops. Trying to look at the reference picture and I took my eye off, so it made it crooked. Okay, I'm gonna adjust any lines now. As soon as you draw them, adjust them, and then erase them. Don't erase before you fix. There we go. We have, here's the line that I made for the end of the trunk, but I'm gonna have to move it over a little bit. I'll adjust. I'm going to start here, curve up, and And then there's almost like an elbow in the tree. It kind of sticks out and comes back in. Branches off here. Curves up. Branches off again. Curves up. Comes back down. Whoops. Comes back down. Let's do this part. These two join with almost like a U shape. Sorry. And we'll fix this one too. Okay. Well, we have a branch that goes from here. This is what I was talking about. So, or maybe I didn't talk about it in this video. A tree is not a flat object like this where it doesn't have anything coming up from the back. So if you think about a tree almost like a sphere or like a ball, you've got branches that come in the back and branches that come from the front. I can't twist my hands like that. And they can branch out all over. They can go this way, this way, this way. So that's what we want to think about when we're doing this. There is a tree branch that comes from here and goes to the back. This one comes toward us. This one goes away from us. You can see a little bit of it come underneath this tree branch, and it does make a Y back here. Part of it goes this way. Part of it comes down to that branch. So to help you get these lined up correctly, pretend like you're drawing. Lightly lift your pencil, keep drawing, keep drawing, keep drawing, and then put it down. Okay. And here we have another branch. It's between these two. So I see where it goes. Okay, so we're gonna come from here, and it twists around this kind of. So actually what we drew before was this tree, and this branch kind of goes behind it. Well, that makes more sense. Okay. So this one is here. This one curves around behind. And that's getting confusing. Here, let me fix it. I'm not sure. Oh, I see where it goes. Okay, this one goes behind like this and goes up like this. If you can't see it, that's okay. Complicated shapes like this are sometimes very difficult to see. But here we go. There we go. Okay. All right, so we have this part in the front that is the trunk. There's not a space here, but you can see that this other piece comes up from behind and goes to the back. Okay, and we're gonna fix that. Okay. All right, the next thing we're going to do, oh, I have to finish this. So again, we're gonna put our pencil down here, draw across, and then pick it up and move it however we want that branch to go. Again, pick it up, move it, and then bring it down. Okay, now we're gonna start on the roots. This root starts above the ground, comes down, kind of goes in like a finger. I'm not gonna spend too much time on the roots. For me, they're not as important as the tree. So basically it's the same idea. You've got fingers that taper as they get further away from the tree trunk, and then they get fatter as they get closer to the tree trunk. And I am gonna add in some grass here at the end so we can clean this up. Another thing you might need, which I'm going to be using, is a piece of paper so that you don't smear your drawing. So just any scrap paper is fine. Okay. The next thing we're gonna work on is holding our pencil very loosely. So I'm not even holding it like I normally would, like to draw. I'm gonna hold it like this, just so I don't have as much control over it. And I'm going to let it dance across the paper. And what we're doing is putting in the smaller branches. So just anywhere you want. I am not gonna follow the direction, I'm not gonna follow my reference picture for this because it would be too annoying to try to get every branch exactly in place. Branches have kind of a V or a Y shape, so they start from the main branch that you're doing it from, and they just kind of make these like Y shapes or V shapes. They can go up or they can go down, either way. You can have fun with it. Just enjoy it. Take a deep breath. Drink your coffee or your tea or whatever you're drinking. Water, milk, juice. Just don't spill it on your picture. And just have some fun making these. Some trees are going to be a lot less complicated. They might have just one trunk. I was looking at a few trees a couple days ago and they just have one main trunk and a couple of branches coming off the side. This one is a little bit more complicated. There are many different kinds of trees out there. They all have their own character, their own unique things about them. One of my favorite trees in our area was an oak that had been struck by lightning. On one side, part of it was dead. And then there was a big burn mark on it. It still lived for quite a few more years, and then it finally cracked and fell over. There will be knot holes in your trees sometimes. That can be an actual hole or a place where there was a branch that got cut off. In fact, on this, oh, I didn't put the curvy one in. Drats. Okay, let's do that. We'll put this curvy branch in here, which means I need to get rid of the other branches. Like here. That's okay. I wanted to show you this. That's why I put it in, or I'm putting it in. Okay, so this little branch right here has quite a few places where the tree has been trimmed of other branches that were coming off of it. So they've got like knobby bits like this. I don't really see that too much on the other branches. This is the one that has the most. I'm not sure why, because we're the ones who trim it. Why did we only trim that one branch? There's places here where you can see leaves coming out of the trunk. These are also places where it's sprouting. So there was a branch here that got cut off and now it's trying to heal itself, fix itself. All right, we've done that. Now we're gonna work on putting in some of the canopy of leaves. Remember, the canopy is all of the leaves, but in this tree, we don't have a lot of leaves. It's kind of sparse and they're very light color green. So they're much lighter than the tree trunk, is what I'm trying to say. We're gonna hold our pencil this way, and we're just gonna put in these very nice little leafy shapes. We are not drawing every leaf. You're only putting a little bit of value on the page at the end of these branches. You don't have to stick to the end of the branch either. There are some that are actually on the tree, so you can do that. You're just making the suggestion of leaves. I'm worried more about keeping it very light. There's quite a few on this tree branch. When they're this light green in the spring, it almost looks like green smoke. They're so light. Okay, that's pretty good. So light and so tiny. Little tiny baby leaves. I don't know if where you live you have spring. Do you have all 4 seasons, spring, summer, winter, fall? We have them here in Illinois. I live near Chicago. All right, now we're gonna think about the light source. It's really hard to see where the light source is coming from. It's not very strong because if you look in the reference picture, the sky is overcast, which means it's covered in clouds. The sunlight was not very strong on this day. But if you look at your picture, you can see that there are some really dark parts of the tree trunk, like on this side, and this branch, and this part. Some of it gets lighter. I think one of the lightest parts is maybe here and here. Some of that's because the leaves are covering it. Another dark part is like this section right here is very dark. It lightens up as it comes down into the ground. The back side of this is very dark. This part is a little dark. This part is pretty light. Okay, so, and this one is light. This one is going away from us and it is kind of curved back almost like this. And so it is catching the light because the light was coming almost straight down on that day, or like diffused. It was all around, but it was coming mostly like here. So when something is moving away from you, it is usually lighter. And then on this one, we also have like this side is darker. This is lighter. Part of it's lighter anyway. Here, this is dark. This part right here is a little bit dark, but the actual branch facing you is lighter. So we're gonna put in the value now. Value is when something goes from light. Can you see that? Yes, you can see it. Light. So we're gonna start out with our lightest value, very, very, very light. We're gonna double over these, triple over this, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you can see it's getting darker as we move away from that first part. And I don't have to push really hard, but what I do need to do, you can push harder, you just don't want to make grooves in your paper. You can push harder, but if you just keep going over the area that you've done, the graphite will come off and it will make it darker. So we're going to keep doing that. until you get to your darkest, darkest, darkest. It's almost like a black. So we go from light gray to dark gray. Now, if you have this kind of pencil, you can get really dark with it very easily. But we're just using a number 2 pencil right now. Okay. So keep this in mind. You go from light to dark. So we're gonna start up at the darkest, we can start at the lightest parts. We'll start at the lightest parts of the tree. Just do that very light pencil, and we'll get darker as we get away from the light. And as we go up the tree, keep that. Make sure you don't cover up your leaves. We put them in there so that we would remember where they are and we won't cover them up. Color around them. Shade around them. Okay, come in here. This gets lighter as it gets to this section, so keep that lighter. There is a shadow here because it's underneath. Okay. Now what we're looking for is that feel of being rounded. Each branch is going to have that feeling, hopefully. Some more than others and some a little less, like this one. It's not so much the feeling that it's rounded, it's the feeling that it's going back. So we're going to start dark here and we're going to lighten up as we move back away from the tree trunk. It does work better if you work from light to dark. I worked from dark to light. Now I've got a little shadow here that I don't want. You can also use a little piece of paper or your finger to blend that better so that you don't have that sharp line. But we're just gonna come back like this. This one does have some dark right here as it branches off. And a little bit right here in its little armpit. But this one in the front is darker and we want to make that pop out. So I'm going to go back over it again, clean up the line a little bit. And see how that lifts it up in front of this one? That's what we want. This part of the drawing is probably the most time consuming. So after I finish this branch, I'm going to speed up the film. If you need to stop at any time to see something or to catch up, feel free to stop the video, pause it, whatever you need to do. I am using a lot of the side of my pencil, not so much this. This takes less time. You've got more pencil lead touching the paper. So that will be helpful too. Oops. We'll clean that up. All right, let me show you what I meant about the piece of paper. So I'm going to take a little rip of this and I'm going to twist it. I'm going to try to get it to a point, almost like a pencil. If I can get it to do that. Okay, so I have a little point here. I can go back in and I can clean and I can blend this. Soften it up, blend it. Okay, all right. I'm going to speed up the video and I will see you in a little bit. we are almost done. We're gonna put a little bit of texture in where the lightest parts are. By texture, I mean a little bit of the trunk. You can see some lines. And before we talk about that, let me talk about different kinds of texture. So there are some trees, they're usually kind of white or light bark, and they have this kind of like texture that goes around the trunk. But on this kind of tree, the texture kind of follows the trunk. So what I mean is you'll have like these lines that follow the sides of the trunk instead of curving around them. So we're gonna do that just in the lightest parts. And like, again, you don't need to like be exact about how it looks unless it's really important to you. But I am just putting some of these lines in here just to give the trunk some texture. I'm gonna do that down here a little bit as it comes down. And the further away it is from you, the less you're gonna see. So don't worry about the ones in the back or the ones that are really tall. Maybe just put a few in the ones that are closest to you. Okay, I think that's pretty good. If there's any parts that you feel like you need to lighten up, maybe they got too dark, or maybe you want to put in a few more leaves on a tree, you can go in with your eraser and clean that up a little bit. That's a little too white, so I'm going to go in with my pencil and just do like a very light circular motion to give it a little bit of color. And I'm going to extend it out past the tree branch. Okay. All right, the last thing we're going to do is put some dirt in the bottom. Not really going to focus on the dirt, of course. I want to just put in some shading where the roots come out. So we're going to make it darker here, darker in between. We're going to make it darker in the middle of this. You can see it makes that root pop out a little bit from the page. And here, I'll do the same thing. Our dirt. We lost this root. Come back, come back. Where did you go? All right. We can use the stump if you want. I don't mind it being a rough texture. It's dirt, so it's not going to be super smooth. I'm going to put in, even though it's not really in the picture except for right back here, I'm going to put in some grass clumps. Just some lines to show that grass will be growing as the spring progresses. Okay, and maybe clean up a couple of places where my hand smeared. And I think we are done. I hope you had fun and I hope you learned something. Have a good day. Bye.